Every year, Kenyans in the diaspora send millions of dollars back home for various reasons. Unfortunately, much of this money goes into the wrong projects or the wrong pockets. It's because of this reason that USA-based Kenyans have decided to form an investment company. I recently spoke to officials of this company, and this is how the conversation went. I started by asking them, what is LUSADA?
LUSADA is a corporation, a Delaware corporation, started by Kenyans in the diaspora. Basically, we're very proud about its origin. It started as a social group. Then a few of them decided to create a company that would do business.
So what was the reason for starting LUSADA?
LUSADA, we looked at the fact that Africans, or Kenyans for that matter, remit a lot of money into their home countries. But that money is not organized. And power and influence is in organizing resources. It's not in the resources. You may have resources, but if they are not organized, you lose the influence, you lose the power. So we set up LUSADA so that we can organize the remittances of diasporians into Africa. We know for sure that what they call donors have a lot of influence in African countries. But the amount of money they take there is a very small portion of relative to the remittances by the diasporan people. But the reason why they have that influence is because that money is organized. And the money being remitted by people from the diaspora is disorganized. Somebody sends 100, 200, 300, but 100 times 1 million is 100 million. But if it's not organized, you cannot have the influence that comes with it. So the LUSADA is there to make sure that the remittances by Kenyans and Africans do the work that is supposed to be done, but also they retain the influence so that they can influence how it's done.
Yeah, you said that you are born Kenyan, but now you are an American. So that means you are an experienced diasporian. So you said that Africans remit money to Africa and for various purposes.
Yes.
So what is the reason why Africans remit money to Africa, and how does LUSADA come in to make the difference?
Africans remit money, first of all, for social causes to help us transfer payments, to help their families, and also to invest, to try to build a house, build a shop, try to do a business. But if one person is remitting this money and they are far, they are 10,000 miles away, they are not sure how that money is going to be used. They may wish to build a house, or they may wish to run a pharmacy, but the person at their end may have different priorities, and as we have seen, they normally have different priorities. So LUSADA's responsibility is to encourage them to put this money in a pot together, and then LUSADA as a company goes and does the things that they want to do. Like if they want to build houses, affordable housing, they can build. If they want to run pharmacies, they can run. But LUSADA as a company. So the people who are putting, the diasporans who are putting in money, just get dividends and can have general meetings to influence the management of it. So as opposed to sending 2,000, 3,000 to your auntie, your dad, and they don't do what they are supposed to do. First, because they are not experts at this thing. Second, because they have other priorities relative to you. And third, because you are far, you can't manage.
So what are the investment options available to LUSADA that you can encourage this diaspora to invest in?
Just think, all the things that you think are problems are actually opportunities. Okay? So, and think the things that we like in the US. People in the US, if they like it, they like something in the US, people in Kenya also want it. If they want a good restaurant to go to eat. They want a good pharmacy to go and buy medicine for. They want good roads, good toll roads, like the expressway from Nairobi CBD to the airport. Now everybody's paying, but somebody had to put money together to build that road. Unfortunately, this particular time, because we are not organized, the government had to get the money from elsewhere. But actually that money would have been gotten from the diasporans if they only organized. Because they have the money. If you look at the remittance list from the central bank in Kenya, you will know that the money they borrowed for the expressway is much less than the remittances they make in 1 year. In Kenya right now, again, there is affordable housing, which is a priority for the present government. And affordable housing means the government is providing the land. And you can see diasporans trying to buy land. But you see that if you can see that the priority of the present government is to have affordable housing, that means the land is available. You just need to have the money and you'll get the land. So why are they individually buying land to build a house when they pool the resources, they can get land to build the houses for everybody? And again, there is a housing mismatch. Because the people in the diaspora are building these houses individually, they are not building the houses the people need. So there's a lot of what I call mausoleum houses scattered all over the country, which are just sitting there empty, waiting for the owners maybe to die and get buried there. When that money could have been used to build affordable housing, which is lacking, so the people are living in shanties. You understand? So the money is going into housing, but it's going to the wrong housing. You understand? Yeah, because, okay, you live here. And you live here, you go, maybe the average Kenyan goes to Kenya once every 2 years. You build a mansion there, and you'll spend 1 month in the house. There are neighbors of yours who have no houses, who would live in cheaper houses, but pay you. Okay? Now you have a mansion built there, empty, sitting empty. You have spent 20 million shillings to build or something, when you could have spent 1 million to build 10, so that these people can live a good life, and you are living a good life in the US. You understand? So that organization of the resources is what I'm talking about. You understand? That you just look at the mismatch of housing. There are people building very big mansions which are staying empty, and there are people without houses. And there is the government looking for money to build houses with the land. You understand? So LUSADA is there to make sure that we organize resources and make sure that we match the resources to what is actually required on the ground.
Okay, you've talked about the affordable housing. Mm-hmm. I heard something about, do they call it Diaspora University or something?
Yes.
Is it a project of LUSADA or what is this?
Diaspora University is not a project of LUSADA, but we have been working with them to find an opportunity where we can invest. Because LUSADA is a for-profit corporation. It's not a non-profit. Our investors expect a return. So Diaspora University is a non-profit, meaning it's for doing good for the community, but there will be no immediate return to the people who put the money in. So, but we are working, we have talks with them to see opportunities in that particular university in Taita Taveta where our investors' funds can go so that we can get returns for them.
Okay. Yeah. And then you talked about consolidating remittances from here to Africa. Mm-hmm. So does it mean that when somebody wants to send money to Africa, he gives to you? Or how does LUSADA work? Does it mean that somebody buys shares in LUSADA?
Yes. When we say consolidating the remittances, we don't mean the daily remittances that somebody has $100, they have to come and bring to us so we can take there. No. We are saying if you want to remit money for investment, you are better off investing in LUSADA, so LUSADA as a corporation can go to Kenya, Uganda and invest. You understand? You see that thing? So if you suppose you have $2,000 to invest, and you say, okay, let me go to Kilifi and look for land to buy. Okay? And you look for land to buy, maybe you'll get the right land or you won't get the right. Maybe after you get, maybe you will start building. Maybe you'll get the right builder or you won't. And then maybe after you finish building, maybe you'll get the right tenant or you won't. Or the tenant will come in and maybe they'll pay you or not. You know, there are too many maybes. But if you invest in LUSADA as a corporation, you get shares of LUSADA, you're 2,000. And if we get 1,000 people investing 2,000, that's $2 million. And we go to Kilifi and buy the land. We build houses. We are completely sure that we'll get the right land as a corporation. We are an American corporation doing business in Kenya, and we will join. We are like any other American corporation. So the safety features, categories that are there available for foreign investors are available to you. And when we go looking for land in Kilifi, we'll get the right land, we'll get the right builders, we'll put up the houses properly, and we'll manage it well.
So you've talked about investment opportunities in Africa. Are you looking at only investing in Africa, or even in America there are places you have invested or you want to invest?
We are an American corporation, and we will put our investors' money anywhere that we think is profitable. When people put money in LUSADA, we have fiduciary responsibilities. We cannot just wire money to Kenya unless the opportunity is good and we know that it's something. But if we see an opportunity in the US, we're going to it also. We're not welcoming people who are naive about Africa, about working with Africans, unless you are an accredited investor who can look at the opportunity and decide whether it's a good one or a bad one.
I think you've brought up a very interesting issue, and my question would be this. We know that the former US President Barack Obama has Kenyan roots.
Yes.
What is your message to him?
Come and join us, because it is the aspirants with influence that will make sure Africa and African countries grow. Because you remember, I don't know, but I was about to date myself. Just a few years ago, China was, if you could hear anything made in China, people will say, no, I'm not buying anything Chinese. But they came to the US and learned. They learned and they went back and they made the place. The Indians, same. There was a time when, I remember sometime when I would go, you go buy a textbook and it's from India. You say, I'm not buying an Indian book. Right now, the best books are coming from there, because they came here, they saw how it's done, and the people, the diasporian Chinese, the diasporian Indians saw here, they created companies, and they went back home, and even now those companies are coming back to do business here. So for Barack Obama and the other Africans of influence, which I appreciate, please come and join LUSADA, so that we can be able to make sure that the continent develops.
So do you have a minimum share capital that somebody is supposed to buy, or how do they come in?
We'll require you to put in a minimum of $2,000, and then you start giving giving monthlies to make sure we keep our cash flow going.
Okay. And then I know many people who will hear this may want to partner with you or to cooperate with you or to support you.
Yes.
So what kind of partners or what kind of support or what kind of institutions are you looking at to work with?
On the US side, we're looking for investment firms, we're looking for government support services that support, because most of the diaspora Americans or Canadians are citizens of this country, but they have a vested interest both in their adopted country and in their home country. It's like their home country and the adopted country is like mother and father. You don't want, you know the relation, the way children relate with their mom and fathers and dads. It's, you don't have favoritism, but you want this to grow together. You understand? So from the US side, we're looking for enabling environment to be able to get the resources to invest. And from the African side, we like the African governments to provide land to show us which opportunities, which needs will meet their current and future, so that we can put the money. You saw the example of housing in Kenya. There are a lot of houses coming up, but they are not a match to the need. So there is an affordable, there are houses, but they are not affordable. But the actual market is on affordable housing. So we need to be able to split, to change the idea of people building mansions scattered everywhere, which remain empty, while people are living in shanties. When we could put that money in affordable housing and get an income from it for the people who are investing. But as of now, when you build a mansion and staying empty throughout the year, you're not getting any money, you're losing the money. The money you put in is dead money. The Kenyans are not having houses, and the country loses.
Just as a follow-up question, if Barack Obama was to come to you expressing an interest to invest in LUSADA, how would you receive that information?
The benefit of him even putting $1 will be worth $10 million, because it will be an endorsement of the idea of organizing remittances, so that they are not they don't go in several ways, but they go one concentrated and do something good.
So what is your message to the other people who are staying in the diaspora? What is your message to them?
My message to the diasporans is, we all have a good heart. We have a heart at a good place. We have the resources, just like Africa has the resources. The only thing we don't have is that we are not organizing it well. We need to organize so that we concentrate to solve a problem. So my message is, organize, organize, organize. And Barack Obama used to say, organize. When you organize people, when you organize a community, when you organize resources, you are successful. When you go your own way, it may feel nice that you are building a mansion, you are doing something like that, but at the end of the day, when all is quiet, you have lost. But if you organize resources and focus on one problem, you solve it, and then you solve the next one. I'll give you an example. Google never created any information or any data. They just organized data. Uber does not own any vehicles, does not own any drivers. They just organize the drivers. Airbnb does not own any houses, any hotels, nothing. They just organize the extra capacity. You understand? So it's the organization that is lacking, but we have the resources. It's even now in Africa, the reason why we look like we are not progressing as fast as we can is because we are not organized. Everybody thinks they can sit in their own spaces. But when you work together, you do a lot of good.
Okay, and I know there are people who may not be in the diaspora, but may be interested in investing in LUSADA. What would be your message to them?
Yes, same things. If they are not in the diaspora, but they are, say, in the African countries, and they would like to invest with us, we go through the same process. It's patient capital, okay? But also there is a rider. If you are a politically exposed person, there are special considerations, because we are an American company. So we'll go through the know your client process.
Okay. And then finally, as we conclude, you give your parting shot.
I think that the only thing I can ask people in the diaspora is, we send over $200 million every year to Kenya for Kenyans. That money is dead money if it's disorganized. But that money is very useful money if it's organized. Just organize and put the money together so that we can solve problems. The problems that we see, each and every problem you complain about in Kenya is actually an opportunity. It's very difficult to make money in the US because it's already organized. The roads are done, everything's done, its power never goes away, water is always there. I was in Kenya 2 months ago, for 2 months, and I realized people are building houses, but there is no water. Nobody's thinking, I need to deliver water to these people. Utilities, it's not only the government that can supply utilities. Somebody in Syokimau can come and say, I supply water, or I supply gas. You know, this kind of opportunities that we take for granted in the US, that when you're building a house, already the gas is there, the water is there, electricity is there. When you look at Africa, when you go to Kenya, and you just stand on the side, all the problems you see are opportunities. You understand? Yeah. If you look at it like that, you cannot even ask, where can I put money in Kenya? If you get organized money. Like somebody gives me 200 million, and it's sitting over 200 million in Kenya, because I know all these people require all the things that we have here. And the people in government want those things there. The other thing is, please learn to respect. When you're dealing with people, respect them. Don't lecture them. When you're dealing with the government people, don't go there and lecture them. That is one other thing that I was in a meeting with at the World Trade Center in Delaware, and they asked me, how come the Chinese seem to be getting an advantage over Americans? And I told them, it's because, you think people are logical, but actually people are emotional first. They take care of their emotions. If they feel that you are respecting them, it doesn't matter how much money you give them. The first opportunity they'll get, they leave. You understand? So when you're dealing, whether they are Kenyan Americans or Canadians or the Canadians, if you are dealing with the government in Nairobi or in Kampala, do something. Respect them. Don't hold them in disdain and think you're going to lecture them to do something. This is their house. This is their backyard. You understand? So LUSADA is coming with that cultural understanding that we are not going to Nairobi to lecture the government there. It is his backyard. He can decide to live in a hut. Okay? That is his house. Okay. If you want to improve it for him, respect him first. So that is my parting shot. Whatever you do, organize your resources, but also respect the people you are going to work with.
I think that is a good way to end it. I want to appreciate you for talking to us today.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this edition of Eyeing the Dream. If you love my story, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Moving Pictures Kenya. My name is Bonventure, and this is Moving Pictures Kenya, connecting people, inspiring Africa.